Happy Sunday, and we're live. Hola, mi amigos, ¿cómo estás? Hello to you, my beautiful genius friends in Facebook land. I'm going to start calling you all geniuses, masters. I already call you beautiful because you are these things. Hello from a beautiful day here in Wisconsin. Hot, nice. Soon to be Santa Monica Beach, flying there on Friday. We'll have some new views, some new scenery to do live streams and videos. Won't that be nice? I mean, it's beautiful here. Just gorgeous. If you saw the live stream I did this morning from my backyard, it looks like a park. I did a sunrise with a cup of tea, chai tea live stream this morning on my adventure page. I'll drop it in here. And today, I want to talk about freedom, the dream of freedom. And I know deep down in our soul, who we are, who we truly are, we desire deeply to know freedom in all sense of the word. It's probably one of my favorite words that exists is freedom. And I have desired it since out of the womb, like air in my lungs. That's how much I have desired freedom. That's how important it is. And by the way, a little housekeeping here. We have a hornet problem. I went to do a live stream on the back porch because I was thinking, oh, maybe they won't be so bad. They're out there too. And I got stung on the foot. So if you see me like, ow, 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 on a live stream, which has happened, I've been stung on live streams before, 3 times in a row. You'll know why. I just decided, I've already used 3 cans of hornet spray on those little buggers. Something deep down underneath. I'm gonna have to have someone come out and have it removed. Yeah, I am a daughter of a biologist. I love the insect kingdom. I love the animal kingdom and respect it so much. So I need to quantum jump into a different version of Amie that does not attract stinging and biting insects. So I've surrendered to the fact that they're going to be there. I like to do outdoor live streams, and it's just part of the adventure. Sometimes misadventures are part of the adventure. So why I was inspired to, now 3 days in a row, I've been doing a lot of live streams. I can't stay away from you. I love you so much. It's on my heart. Something I posted Friday, a little video that I saw one of my friends that I met on the Camino on my last day on the Camino. He's from Greece. He posted a really cool video on TikTok on his Facebook page, and I watched it and I wanted to cry. It was so, whoa, compelling, this video. So I went and found it and reposted it. And it seems to be getting a lot of attention on my Facebook page here. So if you haven't seen it, I'll post it here when I'm done. But if you just go back to Friday, you'll see the video, and I'm just going to describe the synopsis of it right now because it is a tearjerker. When you settle into your heart and really get it, and you have nothing but unconditional love for your fellow souls here, and you desire them to have the most beautiful, harmonious, powerful life of existence, freedom and abundance. Like when you watch this and you recognize how precious time is, and it's just fleeting by. So back to the video, the one that just got me all choked up. It's this short video, maybe 3 minutes long, really well done. It's this kid that's graduated college. He's got his robes on, he's got his skateboard, he's excited, he's happy, full of life. Maybe it's not even college, it's high school, I don't know. Anyway, hi Lois, welcome. Yeah, let's say hi, where are you joining from, what part of the world? Welcome to all my friends all over the globe, my beautiful, beautiful friends. Happy Sunday to you. So we're talking about freedom today. It's one of my favorite words and topics to discuss. And I desire it like air in my lungs, every sense of the word. And I know my fellow souls do as well. So the opposite of freedom is what is displayed in this video. And I hope you watch it. I really hope you watch it and let it marinate. And with this comes no judgment for anybody that chooses this path of existence that's displayed in the film, okay? You can count on a no judgment zone here with me. All judgment is self-judgment, so there's no point to it. So this kid, he's got his skateboard, just graduated, he's got his robes on, he's outside some big city, and he's outside of some huge corporate building. And this corporate guy comes up to him and says, hey, I'll give you $50 cash if you stand here all day and just stand here in this little box, in this tiny little box, like this big of a box, right? Tiny little box. Just stand here and I'll give you $50 cash. I could really use your help. This is the work that I need today. And the guy's got a skateboard and he wants to go do skateboarding tricks and he's full of life and just graduated and he's like, $50 cash. And he's like, okay. And he's like, but how do I know you're going to show up here? I'm going to be here for like 9 hours. And the guy's like, well, I'll go ask one of your friends then. He's like, no, okay, $50. Yeah, I'll do it. So he just stands there in this tiny little box on the sidewalk in front of this building with life going on around him until nighttime. And then the guy comes and says, hey, good job. Here's $50. And he's like, wow, $50. And he goes, you did that so well. I want to hire you to do that again. So come stand here in the same box. I need you to stand right here and I'll give you $200 if you stand here all day. 9 hours. This is your job. Stay right here in this box. This is your work. And the guy's like, okay. So then we see this progression. So the guy, at night, the man comes, pays him $200. He's like, yeah, $200. And this progresses over time. So now this kid's not a kid anymore, you know, with all this life and spunk and wanting to skateboard. He's still dreaming of skateboarding, and his friends come by and they're like, we're going to skate park, come with us. They try to pull him out of this box and he's like, no, I can't. He can't get out of his box. It's like, no, I got to stay here. I'm making a living. And they're like, all right. His friends are disappointed. They don't get what he's doing there, standing like a slave, like a sheep in this tiny little box there all day, making a living, right? Won't even step his foot like outside. Nope, gotta stay here. And they're like, how does anybody know that you're here or not, right? Is anybody watching you? And it progresses and he keeps getting paid. He's standing there day after day doing nothing, just standing there, but he's collecting his $200 cash, right? A girl in crutches with a broken leg walks past him, hobbles past him, and this guy steals her purse right in front of him. And she's like, please help me. He just stole my purse. He's getting away. And he's like, I can't. I have to stay right here in my box. I have to do my job. This is my work. And she's like, please help me. And he's like, I can't leave here. I have to do my job, my work. And then she leaves disappointed, right? She's had her purse stolen and she's, invalid. And what we start seeing is him day after day after day, just standing there getting older. This guy, hey Ben, how are you? Welcome. Say hi, where are you joining from? I hope you go back and watch this video. It's so good. And then the employer comes. He's not aged a day. He's the same guy that was paying him every day for just standing in his box, doing his work. But the guy that's a slave to his box is aging. You can tell he's getting older and older, more wrinkles, more worn down, just like the life that you once saw him as a kid, full of dreams, graduating, is gone. And the man says, you are such an asset. This is maybe, let's say, 25 years later. I have a new place for you to work. Come over here. He moves them maybe 20 feet away. The box is just a tiny bit bigger that he needs to stand in, this little box. And he can see the bridge, a little piece of view of the bridge nearby. He's like, wow, it's so big. This one's so big and I can see a little bit of the bridge. The man's like, yes, you are an asset to me. And so he watches his whole life go by, standing in his box, doing his job, right? Doing his work. And at the end scene is the man's coming to pay him, and he's like, he gives him his wages. He goes, here's your wages. Now it's gone from $200 a day. And this once kid skateboarder is now white hair, old gray, hunched over old man. And he comes and it's like, your wages for the day, $2,000. And the guy's like, thank you so much. I think I would like to retire now. And the man's like, all right, thanks. Takes off, and the old man, now who's been standing in his box his whole adult life, letting it waste away, seeing everybody else go live their lives and have fun and create and be free, he's imprisoned in his own box. His box got a little bit bigger over time, like in 25 years. Little view of here, right? I hope you're catching this, right? I hope you're really catching this. And so this old man now has decided to retire. He's done nothing with his life. He's still dreaming of skateboarding. You see him taking off his nice watch, trying to pawn it or sell it to some young girls that have a skateboard. And they trade. And he's now this old man with long white hair, lost all his life, his youth, standing in his box, right? His work, his job, his job, and he goes to jump on his skateboard, so happy that now he can finally do what he's always wanted to do, which is skateboard. And he jumps on that skateboard and he falls down, and that's the end of the short film. Ooh, oh boy, that one was like choking me up. And it was such a great, blatant in your face piece. Really good short film. I hope you watch it. Once again, there's no judgment from me to anyone who chooses to go about their life in a job fashion. Or sometimes we can be not slaves to the job, but slaves to our own businesses, right? And so this really was getting me thinking about freedom and how if people knew there was another way, a proven way, a system to compress that 30, 40, 50 years of standing in that little box like that guy, right? Where you want to be off doing other things, like you want to be a skateboarder, or people want to travel the world maybe, or spend time with their kids or grandkids, create new hobbies, businesses, I don't know, you name it. That's it. The world's your oyster, you name it, to do whatever. I was just thinking about that, like, if they knew there was another way to compress all those years that we are indoctrinated, so innocently to us, indoctrinated to think that we have to do life by this formula, this debt slavery formula, renting our precious minds and bodies out to usually institutions, people that don't really care about us or give us our value or appreciate us at all. No. What if there's a way to compress 30, 40, 50 years of gorgeous, precious life force? And Kalispera, Apostoli. Talking about the video you posted on your wall, which I reposted. Hi, Cynthia, how are you? Hey, Ben, thanks for saying. Yeah, say where you're joining from. So we've hit the old continent. We're in Greece now. That's great. I like to hit at least 4 continents. So then if there's a way to compress that time and so that we have the bulk of our lives to go live, would someone be open to knowing this? If there was a proven system, a way, a model that's been done by thousands, if not millions of other people in a very specific window of time with all the stars aligning, would somebody be open to learning what that was? How do I do that? Hey Carl, thanks for joining. How do I compress that 30, 40, 50 years of life in a job, or maybe it's a business that takes all of one's time and life force and energy, where they could compress it in 3, 4, 5 years, boop, and then be done so that they could go live the lives that they truly want to live. Freedom, the freedom to make those choices, to raise your children and have adventures and experiences, and with their children and their, the lineage, being able to truly spend time and spoil our families. And spending time is spoiling. Time is our most precious commodity. It's fleeting by. And so I was thinking a lot about freedom and about that video about that boy who starts his life off and then ends up spending it all in a box and then falls down and gets hurt at the end of his life when he retires, right? When he's old and gray and can't skateboard anymore. And it's heartbreaking. That reality is heartbreaking. And every soul is worthy and precious and loved and deserves freedom. And deserves to live their most gorgeous, beautiful life that they can possibly imagine. One of my favorite things to do, and I do it a lot, especially when I'm out walking, is I'll go out and imagine and embody it, like quantum jump into the highest, most creative, abundant, harmonious, powerful, fun lifetime that I could possibly design. And it's like I'm living it right now with my beloved mate, who I know is hurtling toward me, we're hurtling toward each other, magnetizing into each other's existence. I can feel him. The most amazing relationships, harmonious relationships, and businesses, if one wants one, hobbies, sports, music, art, travel. What would it be like to travel anywhere you wanted without having to look at the price tag? Would that be fun? To not have to always go for the budget, economy, cheapest flights. Been talking about that, how to never fly commercial again. See that live stream? I'll put it in here. You're worthy of it. So am I. We're worthy of the best of the best. To not stay in the budget hotels or have to get a room with a bunch of people when you really don't want to, right? Sometimes that becomes, and often, the mindset, the groove that one gets into when it's just cheap budget. What can I get for cheap or free? Versus being worthy and knowing that there's so much more out there that they can have, they can manifest. Or how's this? Imagine this. Going into a restaurant while you're traveling, and it's a really nice restaurant, and it has just the most amazing menu. Whoa, look at this menu. They're so creative and it's delicious, and you want to just sample so many different things. Imagine now, with your newfound freedom and abundance, is you being able to go into any restaurant and not even look at the price tag, not even look at the price of that. Order whatever you want. Your family can order whatever they want. They're not under the constraint of being on a budget, the B word, right? Complete abundance. Time, you're not rushed to get in and out because you got jobs to do. You've got things, on the laptop when you get home, and you got to get ready for the next work day. So you're feeling rushed. You're not present with your kids or your grandkids or your spouse, and you're in scarcity. I'm just painting like the worst, right? The antithesis, but a lot of people know that. I've known that. So what if feel the opposite? And this is what I do. Step into the opposite, that feeling. Hey, Cody, how's it going? Welcome. You're not doing any budget travel anymore. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want, with your family. You could bring your friends. You could pick up the tab, and it's like no problem. There's just so much abundance coming, and I can't stop it. It's just coming. You get to be so generous, and you love it. It is just heartwarming, and it's like a high, like nothing else, to be the generous one. Generous with your time, with your presence, with your mind share, with your expertise, with your money. No more looking at the menu at prices anymore. Just that example right there. Doesn't that sound amazing? Can you imagine that? Hey, Eric, welcome. Say hi, where are you joining from? We're talking about freedom here. And then imagine this. Imagine on Monday morning, so tomorrow's Monday, Here in the US, tomorrow we have Monday. Monday, typically in the Western world, is when the most suicides are ever committed. Did you know that statistic? Because people are in such dread and anxiety of going into the job. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And I have talked to friends on Sunday nights, and I can feel their stress. They're just like, they don't want to. They don't want to, that dread, and maybe they have a boss or a job or things that they do that they hate. I got a story for you in just a second. I had a job, one of my last jobs, JOBs, when I was in my 20s. I hated it so much, I almost threw up every day when I went to work. That's how much I hated it. I'm going to tell you this story before we end here. But before that, we're going to finish with some good news. So imagine, Monday. Most anxiety, most stress, most dread, and that is a lot of people, which I have so much compassion and love for. That's why I want to talk about freedom. Is there a way to compress 30, 40, 50 years of work into 3, 4, 5 years and be done? Yes, there is. And especially when you know how to scale that trajectory the right way. It is very precise, optimized leverage and strategy, and it can be done. And it is being done, and it has been done. We're about to unveil a bold, audacious mission tomorrow that's going to empower hundreds of thousands of people. Nobody's heard this yet, but you will soon. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes here in this space. That is exciting. Empower people to create freedom. So imagine it's Monday morning. If you're typically used to going into work, whatever it is, maybe it's your own work, but it's the same trajectory as I will retire at 60, 65. Maybe I have to keep working after that, okay? That's precious life force right there that could be used to creating a life of freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, health freedom, relationships, all of freedom, emotional freedom with your family, with your friends, with the people you love. Wouldn't one rather, if they had that choice, if I could say, choice A, let's just say you can compress 30, 40, 50 years into 3, 4, 5 years. It can be done, and I will lock arms with you and show you how to do it. We're going to do it together. You're done in 3, 4, 5 years. That's it. Walk away, abundance, time. Now you can go create whatever you want. So now when you wake up, the new reality is Monday, you're not waking up to your alarm. Who dreads the sound of their alarm clock? Does anyone dread that? That just makes you like, I want to throw it through the window. Who dreads the sound of their alarm clock on a Monday morning? And they say, I don't have to go to work, and I have to be a certain way. I have to show up and be something that I'm not, that is not in alignment with who I am, and do things that I don't want to do. And I'm wasting my life. First, I'm wasting my precious energy, which is our currency of how we create, we generate in this precious lifetime. This is why we incarnate. We are divine fractals of God, here to express God in all of our expansion and experience and creation. Don't we want to do that in the most powerful way sense? And how can we do that if we are a slave to the job, doing things and being things that are not in alignment? That's like soul suicide, which is impossible, but we're infinite. However, one will finally wake up one day, hopefully sooner than later, and just like, this is not me. I am meant for way more than this lifetime. And I really hope you go back and watch that video that I was describing. I'm going to put it in here. Ooh, it made me want to cry because I have so much love for my fellow souls on this journey. Every soul deserves to be free, and in every sense of the word as well. So isn't that a better picture? Like, you wake up and you're like, what's the best time to wake up in the morning? When I'm done sleeping, whenever that is. Imagine being able to wake up when you're done sleeping and there's no dread of an alarm clock, no rush in the morning. You know, having to rush the kids or ignore the kids or the spouse or the dog or the elderly parents or whoever, grandkids. You can just take your time because you have all the time in the world to do whatever. What do you want to do today? Hey kids, what do you want to do today? We can do whatever we want, create whatever we want. Doesn't that feel so much better? And that sounds like a good deal to me. Create what you want to create, all the time in financial freedom, to give, to be the generous one, generous in every sense of the word, not rushed, completely present, and to give and give and give. I have massive visualizations and fantasies that I quantum jump and live in that embodiment of that energy, where I'm doing lavish things for my friends and family. And I have absolutely zero stress or poverty mindset or scarcity on how much money is spent. In fact, the more the merrier, because it's going to keep on coming. And I'll keep on spending and investing and sharing and experiencing and loving. Every drop, suck the marrow of life. Like Henry David Thoreau said, don't you want to suck the marrow? How can we suck the marrow if we are a slave to a job 30, 40, 50 years that we don't like, that we're not in alignment with? So real quick, the story about the job that made me want to throw up. This is how bad it was. Maybe we need the contrast to shake us out of our stupor, out of our indoctrination and programming, which has been happening since we left the womb, you know, and it's been there for on purpose, deliberately, which we won't go into in this talk. So I want one of the last JOBs that I had. Once again, I don't disparage anyone that chooses that. If you choose that actively and that's what you love, great, wonderful. However, if posed with an actual solution to compress all those years into 3, 4, 5 and be done working for good, I think a lot of people would choose that. What's that, Amie? I want that one. That door of the freedom, with the not looking at prices on the menu and traveling in luxury and not the budget travel. Taking my kids and my grandkids everywhere, letting them see the world. You know, I'll finally write that book or make that film or pick up artistry in whatever way, or music. Like so many people, they have on this bucket list or this dream list to do all these beautiful things, and it just sit there picking up dust and spider webs. And I want to be like, hug people and shake them. I'm like, don't you know that freedom's possible? It's happening. Happened to me. How did I travel the world for 6 years perpetually? You know what happened when I would wake up in the morning? I wake up, no alarm. What do I want to do today? I think I'll go for a walk, meditate, swim, do some yoga. I was living in Bali and traveling all over Southeast Asia. Maybe I'll go here. I'll pop over to Singapore, or maybe Malaysia. I want to take an adventure, or go scuba diving in, Philippines, or what do I want to do today? And I wake up and I create my day with no boss telling me what to do, no alarm clock, no annoying coworkers that just like bother the you-know-what out of me. Hey, Christina, welcome. Say hi, where are you joining, friends? Inspired topic on freedom. You know how good that was? You know how my expansion as a soul and my character building and learning filmmaking and storytelling, like that was my new vision that I had. And I took a complete 180 from being a real estate broker in San Francisco, which was not an aligned career for me, or San Francisco. I let everything that I had go, gave it away, left a suitcase and a couple boxes of photo albums, and and I gave all my nice clothing away, and I started dressing like a nomad and backpacker, and I started traveling the world. Anywhere I wanted to go. And I had some incredible, just outrageous and amazing adventures, and it has shaped me, who I am, in being and expanding and growing far more, and that I can see beyond like that little box, right? That we're so indoctrinated that that's what we have to stand in our whole lives. And I got to tell you, it's like nothing else. When you can wake up in this beautiful foreign country in the jungle and the rice paddies, and you wake up when you're done sleeping, and you can just eat anything and travel anywhere and have fun with friends and teach yourself new things and experience cultures and have incredible adventures. Doesn't that sound like fun? So to the job that would make me want to throw up, let's go to the antithesis of freedom, because this is what it was so bad, and I empathize and have so much compassion with anybody that has a job that they hate. Hey Rick, how are ya? Welcome. You guys are quiet. I got a job. It was in my 20s, one of my last jobs, and I had to be at work by 7, and my mornings are precious. Like, they're sacred to me. How I spend my life force is sacred. And if you know me, one of my biggest triggers or peeves, or I'm working on this, releasing, is people who waste my time, or things, events, entities, whatever, that waste my precious life force, because I value it so much. And my mornings are sacred. How I start my day is precious. It's like the foundation for the rest of my day. And I do very, very much value, and I'm fiercely protective and independent of my time. So I hated that already. And it was this warehouse, and it was mostly men, and it was an outside sales job that I absolutely hated, in a very dirty industry. Why, oh why did I take that job, right? Amy, why did you, what? That's some story there. And it was a gross, toxic environment with people I did not like, and long hours, and like just micromanagement in a horrible environment. And I just, I hated it so much that when I would roll in to work, my stomach would be full of knots and I would be nauseous. And I'd have to talk myself off the ledge and plaster a fake ass smile, because that's what I had to be. I had to be that salesperson that they hired. You got to be this way. You know how out of alignment that was with me? I had to be a certain way that was not me, true to me, being myself. But I had to show up and be a certain way that they told me, because they're dangling this tiny little carrot. Make a living. I hated it so much. And it was rough on my relationship. I was with a cohabitant boyfriend at the time, and I had to work really hard not to bring that home every day. And it was a strain even then on our relationship, because my day that the job that I hated so much, every bit of it, and the people and the environment and the energy, and even down to like even the actions that I had to do, I felt like I was selling my soul. Like I was soulless in that sense. I mean, you can't be soulless, you are a soul. However, it felt like I was truly renting my precious, amazing, genius mind and body out to a job I hated and wasting my life force. And that's not what I was supposed to be doing. I did have one. Okay, so there's two good things that came out of this job that made me want to puke every day. One thing was, it was high contrast to show me exactly what I did not want. The antithesis of freedom is slavery in a job that I hate, that's wasting my potential, my life force, that I know I am too good for. That something is way better, that is in alignment with my gifts and my talents, and how I can be of service to my global, human family here and in this incarnation. Massive contrast. Ooh! That was like a slap in the face every day, a punch in the gut of, Amy, this isn't you. This isn't you. Can anyone relate to that? Has anyone had a job that they absolutely hate that much that they want to puke? They want to throw up. That's a visceral reaction. That's a visceral response to a job, or just doing something to get money. Money is energy, like everything else is energy. To get that paycheck, that which was hardly, not even close to representative of my worth, which like most JOBs are not. Rick says, I'm good listening to your sage wisdom. Oh, I am honored by you. Thank you. I'm honored by all of you. My honor, joy, pleasure to play with you in this existence. In fact, the reason I brought this topic up so passionately is because I want to play with you. I want to play with all these awesome souls and go create, heaven on earth, new earth, 5D new earth right now. I want to go play with you. I want to go travel and have adventures and make movies and write books and seminars and do amazing things with you. Create amazing adventures and communities. And we need time and financial freedom to do that. We need a lot of money and all our time to do that. A lot of resources to play at the levels that we want to play with. I want to play with. That's my desire. And I want so many of us to be doing it, because we're all going to be so utterly happy in alignment with who we truly are. That shifts energy massively, like right there on our planet. So back to the job that makes me want to throw up. The other good thing that came from it, and she might be watching this, she's a Facebook friend, is the other female that worked at the job. She worked there a lot longer than I did. I think I lasted at that job 6 months. Like I couldn't. It was going to give me ulcers. And jobs do give people ulcers. And sleeping problems and insomnia and weight gain. I mean, just think, like, is that worth it for that paycheck? No. Nay. 9. It's not. You're too precious to not be absolutely doing what you are in alignment with, your talents, your God-given gifts, your passions. That's what we are, and then we're going to get beat up out there by contrast until we realign ourselves finally. Listen to the higher self screaming at us. Sometimes it takes that. I know, because I can be stubborn. I have been stubborn in this lifetime. I had a girlfriend that worked at that job, and she hated the job, I think, more than I did. She hated it so much that every day she would come into work 20 minutes early, and she'd park at the very far end, the very last parking lot space. And she'd sit in her car and cry. She would weep. She would bawl her eyes out because she hated that job so much. Oh, she hated it. She probably wanted to throw up too. And she would cry her eyes out because she hated it. Then she'd put makeup on, she'd slap on a fake smile like I had to do, now stepping into a role to be something that I'm not, completely divergent of who I am, fake, disingenuine, to get that, give me that paycheck, right? Is it worth it? So I look at her and I'm just like, she finally left. She liberated herself and found a different job that she says she really, really likes. So that's a step in a positive direction. I'm more of a fan of just, let's get working just done with. Let's be done with it. 3, 4, 5 years, we'll compress it all into that amount of time, because it can be done. And I can tell you how. And be done. And now we have our time, our money, our abundance, our precious life force, and our alignment with who we truly are, what we're supposed to be doing in this lifetime, which is massive creation, generation, expression in the most beautiful ways. Life's a buffet. So many people don't even recognize that it's there. So I want to lovingly jolt people and be like, look at that smorgasbord. It's there. Can't you see it? Don't you want to come taste the amazingness of this buffet of life with me? Come with me. Come on, come play with me. Let's go co-create at the highest level as possible together. And so there is a huge tug on my heart right now for liberation and freedom, for people truly living the life that they know they're supposed to be living, that they desire, that is there for the taking. Does it take work? Yeah. It's simple. It's not easy. What is harder than 3, 4, 5 compressed, scaled trajectory of work, right? I would say strategy, is doing 30, 40, 50 years. That's way harder and more painful than what can be compressed in a very short amount of time to be done working for good. And so when I saw that video, if you haven't seen it, I'll post it here. And I really hope you watch it, because it's a tearjerker. It's a tearjerker because that is the reality of so many precious fellow souls, is that they don't want to be doing the job. They want to be going out and living a life, and freedom, sleep in, spoil your family, spoil your friends, have amazing adventures, be the generous one, invest in friends' projects and businesses, and go experience the world, keep on traveling. people tell me all the time, and I take this with so much appreciation. They're like, Amie, you've been everywhere in the world. Like Carmen San Diego or whatever her name was. They're like, where in the world is Amie Chilson? I will be in Santa Monica on Friday, by the way. California Adventures beckon back to the West Coast. And I say thank you. And I haven't been to everywhere in the world, but it's on my list. And I desire that so deeply for others to experience, because it's one of the most amazing things to have leverage in your life. To wake up when you want, do life on your terms, not be on a budget, never look at the menu price ever again, as an example. Imagine being able to do that for your family. And like, no, honey, we're going to be staying in a 5-star resort. And the kids have their own room. Everyone's got their own room, and it's not the budget room. Order whatever you want on the menu. We don't have to constrict ourselves to hardly any activities because it's not in the budget. It's not in the you know what budget. I could say it here, but I don't want to get dinged by algorithms. So you can be the generous one. And you never have to stress about money again. Most people are pretty stressed out. A lot of anxiety around money. Imagine what life is like when you wake up and it's taken care of. One of my business partners, I will end with this story now that you listened to my story about the job that made me want to throw up and made my coworker cry. We deserve more than that, my friends, my beautiful, beautiful friends. We deserve more to co-create together. Hi, Cynthia. Welcome. Welcome. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know where you're joining from. Share this live stream. Oh, this one's potent. This is going to resonate with a lot of people. This is coming straight from my heart to yours. Yeah, share this live stream. Let's get this out into the world. Yeah, so, wait, what was I just going to say? Something really good. Oh, one of my, I would say co-worker, I would just say business partners that has gone before me. When he recognized the timing, when the stars were aligned like they are right now, to compress 30, 40, 50 years of job or work or debt slavery into only 3, 4, and 5 years. Reach out if you're curious. We're doing it right now, and we're going to be showing some very special people how to do that. When I was first shown how to do that, to compress a lifetime of work into a very short period of time, it took me 4 years. I asked not to the extent that the story that I'm going to be telling you, but it gave me a taste of freedom. How did I perpetually travel the world, right? Like it is something else. It is something else to do life on your terms, to truly do life on your own terms, to be free to choose. I met one of my business partners, and he was a really cool guy. So he took the opportunity to open Japan, and I'm not going to go into the details here, but he saw like a visionary, just like we're opening India now, which is 10 times the size of Japan. That's one of 2 tidal waves coming right now. He opened Japan, positioned himself in front of that tidal wave at the right time, right place, right everything, stars aligned. You know, when I met him, he was still like a really young guy. He was, I think, in his early 40s. He'd been a retired multi-millionaire since his early 30s. His commission check was around $300,000 a month plus, without having to work for it. That's residual income asset that he'd built, and maybe more than that, I don't know, somewhere around that range. And he was able to retire in his 30s, do life in his own terms. Totally, he was like a good-looking guy, healthy. He was, from Japan, and he decided he wanted to start his own rock band, and he wanted to be the lead singer and guitarist. So, because he had the funds, he started his own rock band. Like, how fun is that? Right? And then he had all these adventures that he was creating, and including starting his own rock band. And he flew some of his business partners. He just chartered an entire massive jumbo jet and chartered it and like, hey, who wants to come over to LA for this event, which is where I met him. And I was meeting with him in this business lounge, and he said, hey, Amie, you know what I do when I get my monthly commission? And I'm like, oh, student of success, of course. Like, I want to know, like, is he investing it here and there? What is he doing, right? And I'm, how old was I then? I'm 30 years old. So I may be 10, 12 years younger. And I'm like, I'm admiring this guy. He looks healthy. He just chartered a huge jumbo jet to bring people over from Japan for a few days. He's got his own rock band. Like, yeah, what do you do? And he goes, okay. So I lean in. So I'm leaning in. I'm like, what do you do with that kind of money? You know, how are you investing it or whatever? He goes, every month when I get that big fat commission check of residual income, he goes, I spend it. That's what I do. I spend it. Every month. I can't stop it. It's coming. And I spend it because I know next month it's coming again too. And I was like, wow, I'm in the right place at the right time. Like, I was just so inspired. Like, that is a lifetime, a way to live that so few know. And it's so, that's a good story to share with you. So look for that video that I'm going to post. If anything that I've said today is curious to you, interesting, curious, fascinating, yeah, let's connect. This is an exciting time, my friends. The stars are aligned again. And I care so deeply and feel so deeply, and my heart is connected to people who do desire freedom, like I do, like the freedom, like the air in my lungs. And it's possible, and it's being done. And it makes my heart happy, knowing what type of impact we are going to create in empowerment. Because I know all souls desire freedom. I know that with every molecule in my being. Thank you for joining this surprise live. I really appreciate you. I love you. I do. I am you, you are me, in oneness. We're all divine fractals of God, and we deserve to have and create the best lifetime possible. And that is our purpose. Our mission for coming here is to expand and experience in all these divine fractals, expressions of God. And we deserve to do that in the far most abundant sense possible. Every single one of us. So if you missed this from the beginning, it's really good. Go back and watch. Share this live stream. Share this live stream out there. Share it with somebody who you know is going to love connecting with this theme. And it's so relatable and powerful and potent. Share this video and yeah, let's get in touch. Reach out to me. Have a beautiful Sunday wherever you are in the world. Much love, and I'll see you on the next video.